Do you really want your kids to remember and learn that you were never joyful? Not too long ago, I got a text, and the text said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Working." She said, "Well, what are you going to do after that?" I said, "Work some more." She said, "Well, what are you going to do on your day off?" And I thought to myself, "Well, what is that?" So I just said, "Work some more." So she said, "Well, what do you do for fun?" And I didn't have an answer at all. So it made me think, is that even normal? And to be fair, being that way can absolutely make you slaughter your competition. I mean, I used to run circles around my competition, and then I would hire them after I burned their empire to the ground. And I really thought, well, after this next conquest, then I'll be happy or satisfied. And the happiness and satisfaction never actually arrived. So instead, I was directly on to the next conquest before I even celebrated the last one. And the same thing would happen with women. I would get her that I needed, and then I got her, and then I'm thinking, who's next? And the same thing would happen with cars and money and goals and over and everything. So here's the question. When exactly is it enough? Better yet, why doesn't it make me happy? So I'm going to say this straight up. There was a moment that hits you out of nowhere where you realize none of this shit outside of me is going to make me happy. So I did some research, and you're probably not going to want to hear this, but as it turns out, I, and possibly you, have the signs of high functioning depression. And it's not weakness, it's a trauma response. So for me, it goes back to the days when I didn't have anything. I had scarcity trauma. So I would hoard success and accomplishments. And if you've ever been in a position of not having, then we're probably terrified to go back to that. I also realized it was about being loved, which is rough when you're a man because you know that most love for us, a lot of times, not all the time, is conditional. So I think if I don't provide the ability to say yes to anything that my kids or woman ask me for, then they won't love me anymore. So what I became was a human doing instead of a human being. So here are some signs that you might have high functioning depression. Matter of fact, I'm going to read them to you because I did the research. Check this out. Sign number 1, you perform, but you don't feel it. And here's some of the signs of a high achiever. You hit revenue goals, you close deals, you get applause, you post the win. And internally you think, that's cool, what's next? Number 2, chronic low mood that looks like discipline. Here's the signs of that. You're serious all the time. You rarely feel light. You're productive, but not joyful. Rest feels uncomfortable or pointless. People call you driven. Number 3, success is fueled by fear, not fulfillment. That looks like you work hard so you don't fall behind. You build so you don't feel worthless. You grind so you don't feel anxious. Number 4, you're highly capable, but you're emotionally numb. Any of this starting to sound familiar? Everybody that knows me personally is like, yes. Number 5, you're productive, but you're exhausted. Here's a relatable sign for that. You wake up tired even after sleeping. Everything feels slightly heavier than it should. You operate on willpower instead of vitality. Number 6, irritability instead of sadness. You're short with people. Small inefficiencies frustrate you. You have less patience than you used to. Number 7, your identity is built around achievement. If you watch any of my other videos, you know I already admitted that. Number 8, you hide it extremely well. Here's the sign. No one would guess. You show up polished. You handle responsibilities. You may even inspire people. And all of this is just in the background. So I got a question. Put this down. Well, when was the last time that you stopped to enjoy the fruits of your labor? Because for me, I constantly told myself, I will be happy when. And then you get that thing, whatever it is, and you're still not happy. I remember in the Marine Corps, in boot camp, we never stopped to enjoy anything. You sit down in the chow hall and you shovel down your food as fast as humanly possible in 60 seconds sometimes. No idea what it even tasted like. And the same with showers in boot camp. Just in there while you're butt ass naked getting yelled at to hurry up and boom, you're out of there. And I think to some degree, I still have a version of that. When's the last time that you savored your food? When's the last time that you sat with your kids and just did what they wanted to do without thinking about the stuff that you need to get done? Just yesterday, I was supposed to knock out a list of things that I had on my to-do list, and boom, my daughter stayed home sick. And honestly, at first, I was like, you know what, this would happen today. But instead, I said, how should we spend the day? And I ended up on Roblox playing 99 Nights in the Forest, following her lead. And I'm happy to announce that we survived 39 nights, breaking my previous record of 27 nights. But I was present, I was joyful. I allowed myself to be a kid again, because you never have to teach a kid how to be happy. They just show up like that. They find joy in anything. Like if I get a package and it comes in the mail or from Amazon, and when I go to throw the big empty cardboard box out, my kids will wrestle it from me. Like I'm violating some law by tossing it out. And they take the cardboard box and create a game out of it, or like a little bed or a little house, something creative. And I heard recently something that hit me. Happiness is an idea, but joy is an experience. And I'll get back to that quote in a little bit, but for now, what do you do about this?
I developed a system called the 5 V's method.
Yeah.
The first V is validation, and it sounds so granola-y, it sounds so obvious. However, those of us who are high functioning, we have a hard time validating, acknowledging, accepting how we truly feel. Think about the dad who just, is feeling anhedonia, is not feeling joy, and just continues working. And when you ask how they're doing, they say, I'm fine. I have a roof over my head. My kids are fed. The bills are paid. But there's a lack of joy. Identify our emotions. That act in itself is therapeutic. And human beings don't like the uncertainty of not knowing how they feel. So when they can name the emotion and accept it, that act in itself decreases the anxiety.
Personally, I found that pulling my phone out and writing my thoughts in my notes in my phone really gets the thoughts out of your head. And when you can look at them on paper or on screen, you feel lighter and have more clarity. Plan to celebrate the wins. And I'm trash at that. I get the victory, and while I'm getting the trophy, I'm literally thinking about the next conquest. When you're a high achiever, you most likely live by your calendar. So if it's not on your calendar, then it's not important, right? So have you scheduled joyful experiences? Or do you schedule the meeting and the work and then fit the joy wherever it happens to fall in between everything else that's on the calendar, and it happens at random? Now, I know that sounds crazy, but honestly, if you don't schedule them with intention, how likely are they to actually happen? Like, will you really take the time to chew your food and appreciate the flavors? Or will I probably shovel it down with a screen in my face? Is it really that bad to schedule sitting down and watching a show on Netflix? Here's the dope part that I figured out. I am insane about refusing to be distracted and staying focused. So if I schedule when to do those things, I'm actually not sidetracked because it's on schedule. I could actually enjoy the thing that I'm watching, shooting some people on Call of Duty guilt-free, instead of what I normally do, which is while I'm watching the movie, I'm sitting there thinking about the work that isn't getting done. Does that sound familiar? If nothing else I've said moved you at all, I think this last part will, especially if you're a parent. If you think back, most of how you think and how you move came from your childhood. Things are caught, not taught, and your kids mirror you. So if you're always looking at a screen, they'll do the same thing. If you cuss all the time, they'll do the same thing. If you yell a lot, they'll do the same thing, and so on. And it woke me the hell up when my kids started constantly asking me, Daddy, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing's wrong. But I had to stop and ask, damn, maybe something is wrong. Why do they keep thinking that? So I'll leave you with this. Do you really want your kids to remember and learn that you were never joyful?